Yo, 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 what it do, what it do? My name is Reference. Today it's gonna be I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I got part of it a blackout, but I'm gonna still expose and show the information in regards to dealing with the subconscious mind and the process and the names of the 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 organs, or the names of the processes, the wordplay that is essential to us knowing, sort of like for those who want to know the process and what takes place and what happens during the transformation. The transformation, as far as what activates inside you, inside your brain, when you begin to activate your magic, or when you begin to submerge yourself into your own internal darkness or external. So I'll have a few pictures from the literature I'm still reading out of, which is the Montauk Chia literature, talking about the darkness meditation processes, as far as the application or what takes place. I also will be talking about family in regards to sexual tantra. The topic with this, I will also be talking about family in regards to sexual tantra and its correlation, etc., etc. So without further ado, my name is Reference, because that's really all I could be. My information is on Facebook and YouTube. Take your time. There's a lot of information out here. I got this as a a download or a channel. I didn't really try. Just minding my business. And there it goes. So first thing we're gonna talk about is, again, dealing with the subconscious mind on page 13 on figure 8. That's what we're looking at right here. It talks about the waking consciousness. The waking consciousness, an alarm system built into the brainstem to wake us up and bring us into waking consciousness, called the reticular activating system, RAS, in figure 9. Sight and hearing are two major pathways of the incoming sensory information, providing cues which maintain a state of alertness, wakefulness. The optic and auditory nerves stimulate brain centers within us, which in turn activate higher cortical centers in the brain, or in our brain, through what they call ROS. And there they shows the pituitary gland, or aka the lobes, the mammillary body, dealing with your brain, the pineal, its location within that particular nucleus. It also talks about, as y'all can see, these three right here inside you. All right, these are the processes. So this is also the next process, the things that take place inside your brain, the names of these things. All right, there's your cerebellum, thalamus, cortex. All right, the higher the energies, our brain, and there's so many different layers and systems and worlds within us, that when we go into this darkness, or when we begin to travel within us, there is so much subtle and so much different type of functions that we can handle. That's how we're able to travel like this. But these are just they have a name for things, because there's so much information about us that you kind of need words for it. So this is the boring part of the trying to cultivate yourself, practice different applications. But this is the boring part of knowing the lingo, or just knowing about yourself. Many of the functions of the waking consciousness are maintained by the neurotransmitter serotonin. Serotonin is a chemical messenger traversing the synapse, or gap, between the two nerve cells. In figure 10, it'll show some of the important nerve pathways assisted by serotonin, beginning a region of the brainstem called the raphe nucleus, and extend upwards in the cerebrum. In figure 11, what you've seen, serotonin plays an important role in maintaining cortical arousal, concentration, and suppressing distracting stimuli. All right, as well as a big role in sleep. In that diaphragm or diagram, you saw a lot of different words, a lot of different literature. All right, I can easily give you the definition and look it up. However, like the individuals I study under, such as Brother Panic and Mrs. Jewel Pookrum, they'll and Dr. King, they'll raise the question to say, hey man, you need to learn about these things going within. Ask questions going within. And and take your time and see what's most important. A lot of the information is already here, but use it as whatever you need to help further along your work, whatever you're trying to get into. But I'm telling you right now, when we have our abilities online and go through certain things and go through depth or our internal dream world or Stargate, this is the door. This is the whole thing. What we talking about? This is the opening of the way, the opening of the mouth. And you just learning the lingo first instead of just knowing information. And it'll take time. No one's better than most, but try to do your best to use the application of asking your subconscious mind questions and pay attention how it comes to in what form of an answer, whether it be a symbol or auditory or color or whatever. So you could easily pause the video, and when you do, write down this literature, write down these words and look it up. A lot of times when you look things up, the first word you want to type in is the metaphysical meaning behind spinal cord, or the occult, OCCUL, etc., behind the meaning spinal cord, and look up more in-depth literature behind the medulla oblongata and find out the correlation. A lot of information is on ChatGPT. I wouldn't say it's all the way correct, but it's a good reference to point you in some type of a direction, and we have to be figuring some things out for ourselves. All right. So in the next page, it's going to be talking about, also we talk about within our brain. It's going to be talking about in figure 10 synapse. It's going to be talking about in figure 10 the synapse. Neurotransmitter serotonin bridges the gap between nerve cells. After completing its mission, the serotonin is reabsorbed into the nerve cell and decomposed by what they call MAO into active byproducts by the power of 4. It also will show the serotonin projection pathways. Serotonin pathways. They say many of the important nerve pathways assisted by the neurotransmitter serotonin begin in the brainstream and extend upwards into the cerebrum. Again, this is the power of us, Next, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to get into the sleep and dream next week, part of this, because it's kind of separate, and I want to, talk about different literature and bring out different things. Serotonin is implicated in a wide variety of psychological phenomena, including depression, anxiety, obesity, and LSD hallucinations. The antidepressant, one of the old ones, I'm sure they have different things now, which they do. And those antidepressants they have, for example, some of them elevates your serotonin levels in the synaptic cleft by blocking reuptake of serotonin in presynaptic neurons, aka serotonin levels cannot be raised by ingestion because the molecule is too polar to pass through the blood-brain barrier. As another example, LSD mimics the shape of serotonin molecule and redirects nerve impulses down unfamiliar and unstructured neural pathways, giving rise to hallucinatory perceptions and experiences. In short, serotonin is the most important neurotransmitter governing states of waking consciousness. So when we go through these experiences, these are the chemicals, and they telling you this is what's taking place. They got a job too, a function. This is what helps you go into the experience, but we don't think about it like that. But we all have a scientific or science part of us, and we just get into it from what I understand, what they saying. Hey, basic science, what we supposed to be knowing. Of course, we ain't learning this all in school, unless we decided to go to metaphysical school or something like that. You know what I mean? So all these are important. Talking about the brain organs from last week, talking about how the pineal gland connects with the sexual center in meditation and self-intercourse. And we was also talking about the Big Dipper, the Big Dipper, hypothalamus and pineal glands, when connected, allow access to infrared emanations of the Big Dipper. That was when we was talking about that last week. It's figure 5 and how it would look. That's how it would look. So they're telling you an application. Use your imagination and the things that will take place in your brain to make these things correlate and function. All right. This is when they was talking about the pineal gland connecting with the sexual centers. We talked about that last week. I'm just showing the pictures from this time, so I didn't show them last week. Oh, I did a smoky thing just now. And here's the next picture right here. Talk about the brain organs, where it's located. But we can always look this up on the internet somewhere, anywhere. Cerebellum, pineal gland, pituitary, hypothalamus, and thalamus. Big dogs. The wise fellas, the wise men. Yeah. Old funny looking fella, huh? Yeah, so that's dealing with that. That's more information. Research it, look it up. Jot down the words, check the definitions out, learn about it. It's things that's happening inside you. If you don't want to know, cool. If you don't want to teach your kids, cool. If you don't care, cool. If you do, well, that's a big leg up, and help us give a better this intellectual understanding, for those who haven't all the way, got it spiritually yet. It's something. It's something that's really important because it's talking about you. So in regards to sexual tantra and family, first thing when we want to talk about is the trauma. The trauma can affect you when it comes to family issues, and you trying to get into sexual tantra, but you got a lot of internal family issues going on, whether past or present related. Okay, it can even be dealing with your immediate family, like mom, dukes, pops, that type of arena, or your other immediate family, which is the one that y'all have started together as a significant, or a daughter or a son, or even foster. So you may, in a way, if you want to dive into this, for example, the it's a negative aspect behind this, and the negative aspect behind it is you're gonna have to clear up your influence. You're gonna have to clear up their influence. For example, don't allow, if you want to get into sexual tantra, don't allow your family to say, oh, that's crazy, that's you weird, you a super stupid freak. Matter of fact, you might not even want to let them know. But if you feel open to it and you don't want to hide nothing, or no matter what, your family be like, hey, I'm into sexual tantra, but don't let their influence traumatize you to not getting deep into yourself. I ain't talk about no sex or penetration or eat no cutty or nothing like that in any of them videos so far talking about sexual tantra. That's not what it's about in its entirety. I ain't say nothing about that, period, yet, at all. But when it do come, ooh. But in the meantime, let's get deep and then come out. Internal, then external, Let's clear up some stuff. Don't let that influence you. Don't let the attachments. Don't attach yourself to other people's opinion. It's not of you or probably worthy of you at all. Let go of any hindrances, anything you feel like that's holding you back. If you're scared, if you were in fear, I get it. And it's okay. Take your time. Do the step by step, day by day, day by day. You better do that. I do it. We all do it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Family in regards to sexual tantra, dealing with the trauma aspects on the negative spectrum. I was giving y'all a small example, how dealing with such a thing when you say, well, how family got to do with this? It's all about you. And in regards, your family. Indirectly. So detach from any tension thoughts, anything that make you feel tense. You start locking up or something. Start getting gas, passing gas, your headache to show up, or your hives, or just chill out. Don't suppress it, but just let it go. Detach from anything with tension, cause you tension. Especially that old knot back there in the back. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're dealing with this family trauma, man. When you're dealing with this family trauma, if you want to help, straighten it out, when you start getting into the positive aspects of how to transmute this thing, call them up. Tell them you apologize, or tell them you'll forgive them, or forgive yourself. If you can't contact them, they passed away, say a internal thought and send out the message, project it to where you feel like it need to go to them. Apologize to yourself, apologize to them again, and if someone don't apologize till you forgive them for whatever's in them for not apologize, let all that stuff go. Family stuff. That don't mean you have to be up in their face kissing or behind walking on eggs. Just love them from afar if it get that serious, all right? But the positive aspects behind dealing with any internal family trauma, you could possibly, for example, be an influence on the whole direction of some of your family members, or application, or have a chance to influence the mindset to change the family for what everybody, or not everybody, but been doing or thinking in regards to this type of topic. Or you can also help them, some of your family members get out of the animal mindset when it comes mindset when it comes to tapping in or learning this information, or even the external part of the sexual tantra, at least getting them out of that animal, state into a more enlightened state. Now, don't mean that, you gotta act like animals sometimes, or whatever you do, but for the sake of we trying to get it together, if we trying to step into sexual tantra, and sexual tantra is not just a sexual energy, we've been programmed, or we haven't been schooled, and I'm still learning too, So when it comes to healing and transformation, all right, in regards to the family in sexual tantra, healing the negative aspects of you not doing no type of healing, or transformation when it comes to family issues, and you trying to step into sexual tantra. So you just thought you could jump into it and learn, but you still got these detailed issues. The negative aspects of that would probably be a domino effect of low vibrational frequency. I'm talking about dealing with you and your people. Or possibly you have so much juice, just with you it's so powerful, nothing can transform or take place. It's like the rejecting of the butterfly effect. You got to fix yourself, fix the situation, fix your dimensions within yourself. It's okay to imagine the butterfly effect. For example, I'll give you one. Did the caterpillar ever have a conversation with the butterfly? Be like, is this gonna hurt? When you transform, them wings, but where the wings come from? Or maybe did the butterfly, did he forget or she forget where it came from? So through that metamorphosis effect is real important. All right, even the movie is real important if you want to check it out and relate it to that, because you need to go to that wormhole inside your mind or your imagination and reverse the process of forgive and get rid of that in that aspect. That way it won't be, be nothing. And from you doing that, a positive aspect will be, a lot of family love increase. You might feel different about your family, and they might start feeling different about you or each other, because the DNA all connects. We all part of the same piece of paper. Family love increased due to application. You doing the work. Sexual energy is also healing energy. Again, sexual energy is also healing energy. Imagine a family all being balanced and into or seeking all about or going through their transformation, and everybody be healing each other. Everybody going through some type of transformation, and if not externally dealing with them, externally you dealing with you. It's still a transformation that takes place. You are a family. A family lives in you. You get it? But we just talk about two things at one time, if you follow me. So the negative aspects behind the trauma dealing with sexual tantra is you'll probably remain in the same cycle. A long energy stagnation. They ain't even going, for you and your future seeds, if you're trying to take it to that level, it might not be that serious. But maybe it is for you and your future seeds if you're trying to take it to this level of transformation and use this information and this clearing up of you, so you won't be in the remain of the same cycle over and over like a merry-go-round. But a positive aspect of clearing up that trauma, dealing on the sexual tantra aspect, would be a family evolution. Evolved, transformed. Internally, with a beautiful external projection. Internal projection and external projection. Now the negative sexual tantra aspects with not doing the work, dealing with the family, internal and external healing transformation, you'll end up causing a real live disease quicker in the area. Whatever area within you, it will turn into an organ issue, possibly from your own tantric energy, and it increases your thoughts even more. So if you go on that route with these negative aspects still on you, trying to dive in, you'll run into it. So you might as well just do it ahead of time. Because these things increase you, make your thoughts stronger, and increase an issue or a dis-ease, turn into a disease, or a past chronic issue, problems. More problems on top of problems, unknowingly. However, the positive aspects behind you dealing with your healing and transformation with any family issues, when you're trying to get into sexual tantra, is, we begin to be able to move our energy more smoothly without thinking about it, or even though it does its own thing. be able to move our energy much better through our meridian highways, unlock access, and relieve any type of blockages. Any type of blockages on that type of level. And the sexual energy and healing energies is weaved into each other like a DNA spectrum. You know, with many cosmic and galactic dimensions within it, which is you, your behind. So when you get into dealing with the issues with sexual tantra in regards to family, and you trying to get into it, and you trying to, get to the money at the same time, trying to do a little money thing, trying to focus, then you want to do some type of, releasing, so you can create be a magnet and become a magnet for different types of prosperity, whether it be external or internal information. But in regards to this, as far as your money or material things, a big negative aspect could be lack of family generational wealth. Not having an understanding of certain things, missing gaps in the brain, like dang, you can't just think past go past think and figure this or get answers. You may not acquire a consistent amount of that dough or that money, due to you not being magnetized. You ain't magnetized. Your thoughts are powerful, and your own thoughts is holding you back from your blessings, from your own juice, your own stagnant thoughts. It could be you afraid of, loss, the material things. You'll have that, oh, I almost had it effect, and that'll keep multiplying every day, and you'll keep saying it, and it'll keep a cycle that keep going, that you creating unknowingly. From these negative aspects and not working on ourselves, it could possibly pop up. It's a lot of different people, a lot of different situations, but it's something to consider because it's all talking about us. And it'll be a unconscious programming of your own words will influence your lack of material and messed up end results. However, the positive aspects behind, this thing is, as far as behind your money and the materialism, it can be increased. It can be increased and everything could be steady, nice and steady. But, just deal with some family issues. Like, don't be afraid if you get this and get that, and you gotta worry about this, or Uncle Leroy or Sister Act did this, or, just being a continuous positive energy. Because these are the things that's gonna happen when you work on it. You're being a continuous, high energy. You're talking about high energy, not no regular energy. And they say no regular B12 complex energy we talking about. You'll be a healed family mindset. It might trickle down to them. We know about the Highlander effect, or how we all a part of the same piece of paper effect. Or talking about the mind, the subconscious. That's what we're doing, right? Sort of, kind of. That involves action. You'll be doing things. Your family they'll be action packed. Y'all be another type of beast. Have another type of drive, and it'll be an activation of your internal codex energy. Check that on a Man of Steel, that codex. So the positive aspect behind, as far as, dealing with sexual tantra, of course it'll create an energy of internal value for self. An attitude. It also changes your attitude, increase access on levels, achieved, easily, flawlessly, clear, built up stuff, in unaware places. Some things just come online. Some things it's just real different. Now, when you get into, we basically already discussed the negative aspects behind that. You'll just feel lack, man, all the time. All right. Some of the dangerous things you'll deal with sometimes when it comes to entities or deities, and you have not worked on family issues that's real traumatic in your life. You're trying to get into the sexual tantra, you know, and ain't nothing to be scared of, but we're gonna hold ourselves back. So if we're trying to get into this thing, you know, if we don't release our fear, a lot of the negative aspects behind this thing is we can create an entity of a family stagnation. It's an entity that's always got us stagnant, and it'll grow and take effect if certain issues not cleared up, and it'll be an energy always on you, sort of like the Archon effect when they talking about, you know, Brother Panic in certain movies. They talking about it as these entities that we related to that's inside of our thoughts that influence the lower spectrum of the game. You know, nothing won't be able to be revealed not doing the work. You'll create your own entity, your own deity. Of course, the positive side is you'll be able to create anything. Now turn into a choice. Turn into a choice instead of something you consciously doing, like Brother Panic was saying in one of his lectures, how to create one. It comes out of you. It's a fancy word for how to create energy, aka Pokemon or something, you know what I mean, Digimon, or whatever else they got out there. You know, you could deal with, you know, you could create a Ganesha or Krishna out of you. Everybody got their own personal one within them that'll prosper the family, you know, or your birth family. You know, it don't even matter. Of course, when dealing with sexual tantra, the negative aspects of not being fearless, and you trying to get into this information and how you can reduce negative entities and deities, the negative results behind that is it'll be sucking your most vital energy all the time, because that's all it understands. That's all you gave it. That's all the instructions you did from the indirect thoughts, the magical thoughts. They magic too. They had a bad spectrum, a repetitious one. So now you done created something. Regardless of what you see, what it look like, it might not have no form. It'll be formless. You know, sucking your energy. You know, or an energy. You'll be having an energy of fear. You know, and it'll be sucking off certain blockages. They got functions. So what they do is, sometimes if we don't believe we the master, they'll become the trickster. When we're supposed to be instructing these things, they turn around and be sucking our juice and be feeling all weak. You know, opened up a whole shebang of trouble. However, you know the positive aspects behind that, but you know, but we all understand it all correlates. All right. So this is sexual tantra in regards to family, and the subtitles that I gave you and the correlations of how we should deal with some of these things, you know, step by step, thought by thought, release by release, you know, whatever needs to be done. So, you know, I showed y'all the literature. I didn't get deep into it. I would like y'all to go over it and look up, you know, grab a metaphysical dictionary or grab the information, go and you tap in, if you know, you find out what you get from it. I'm just a reference showing you some things about it. I apologize if I can't give you no mystical things about it, but they all mean something when we tap into these higher finite consciousnesses within ourselves. These energies ride these particular substances inside of us, and they also explain in the transformation how it happened, the name of it, where to get it, where it's located. Holla if you hear me. You know. So yeah, man, all those are real important. Show y'all a couple of the figures from last week and from this week. Without further ado, peace and love. Y'all stay up and tune into the next video. One.